your mother. Ya Rasulullah, and after that, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, your father. 3 times the mother, after that the father. And people are asking why. Today we are sitting here, we experienced the pregnancy when our wives was pregnant. We know the difficult times that they went through. This reward for the mothers. Allah knows everything. Allah is uplifting those mothers of ours. Put them on a pedestal. Some people will say, the West will say today, but you are depriving your woman. You are not treating your woman properly. Look at them. My dear brother, who are people to say, Allah will be the judge on the day of Qiyamah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu saying here, 3 times the mother, then the father. For the difficult times that the mother went through when she was carrying us. For 9 months that felt like 9 years. When you were kicking inside of her and she felt that pain, but she never complained. She never complained. When she gave birth, imagine a child has to leave her body. Imagine the pain that she had to go through. She never complained. And when we were born, and we were small, that mother was keeping us as babies. She's keeping that baby. I don't want my baby to fall. If somebody asks to keep the baby, she's saying, I don't want you to keep it. I'm so scared. That's the love that the mother had for us. And you know those young, small babies at the night, when they cried that mother got up from the bed. Because we the men, sometimes we're just sleeping. But the mother got up. Because my loved one is crying. My loved one can't talk to me. But he needs me. He needs milk from me. I have to breastfeed. I have to clean. I want my child to grow up healthy. The love that the mother had is not unseen. Allah knows this. That's what Nabi Muhammad is saying. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will uplift our mothers. How we as children today should treat our mothers. How we as children today should uplift our mothers and our fathers. My dear brothers, if we make mistakes towards our mothers and fathers, we should make so much tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nabi Muhammad advised us also to treat our parents with kindness and respect, even if they don't follow the religion of Islam. Asma bint Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu said that she asked Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, she said, Ya Rasulullah, my mother is mushrik. My mother is not a Muslim. But she came to me for help. Can I help her? Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to her, yes. Keep in touch with your mother and help her. Listen to the advice of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That even if your mother or your father is not in the fold of Islam, because alhamdulillah, many of us, we became Muslims. Allah has granted us this gift of Islam, but some of our families are not Muslim. That does not mean that you have to cut you off from your family. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying, keep in touch with your mother. Be good to her. Respect her. Be good to her. For indeed, it's not us who give hidayah. Hidayah comes only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We must set this beautiful example of Islam. And Allah will give hidayah whom He wants to. I remember one time in Fana, one sheikh was sponsoring about 500 Muslims to go for Hajj. And we are witnessing here in Qatar how many people are becoming Muslim. But many of these families did not get this great gift of Islam and Iman. Meaning to us as a learning, for us as a learning method. That don't cut yourself off from your family. Set a beautiful example. So that at the end of the day, they will also say, I want to be like Fatima. I want to be like Aisha. I want to be like Muhammad. I want to be like Abu Bakr. They've changed their lives. They have an organized life. They are following, like we would say in the Christian religion, the Old Testament, like the Quran. They are following it every single day of their lives. Because Islam teaches us this is the way of life. One Sahabi was carrying his mother on his back, making tawaf around the Kaaba. And Ibn Umar was standing there. And the Sahabi, after finishing the tawaf, the sweat is coming from his body. And he went to Ibn Umar and he asked, did I fulfill my duty towards my mother? And the reply was, not even for one contraction she felt. However, you have done good, Allah will reward you. Imagine keeping your mother on the back, making tawaf, sweat coming from your body is tired, doing this for your mother. But that action of yours, which is good, tiring, is not even equal to the contraction your mother felt when she was carrying you in her tummy. One Sahabi said that a man came to Umar and said to him, I have a very old mother. She's unable to go to the toilet on her own. Then I carry her on my back. I also help her to go to the bathroom to take wudu. Then, out of respect, I turn my face away. And then he said to Umar, Ya Umar, did I fulfill my duty towards my mother? Umar said, no. And the man said, even though I carried her on my back and tired myself in her services, Umar said, she used to do the same for you when you were small. And in her mind, when you were small and she was carrying you, she was always concerned that my child must not fall, my child must live. Today, you are carrying your mother. You are carrying your mother for wudu, for toilet, for coming there and there. But what is in your mind today? In your mind, when is my mother going to die? Inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, I hope inshallah that we learn from this. We should reflect into our own lives how we are treating our parents. To neglect parents has become normal, especially when they grow old and has become dependent on their children. Some children put their parents in an old age home just to get rid of them. Children talk loud, very rude to their parents. Some children are complaining about the burden of looking after their parents. We are treating our friends, and some of our friends are kuffar. We are treating them better than we treat our own parents. How many of us are bringing tears to the eyes of our parents? Children today, they are married and have children, but they don't visit their parents anymore. These parents are crying just to see the dearest faces of their children and their grandchildren. Inshallah, we must make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will us, inshallah. That we, inshallah ta'ala, will try to improve our lives, inshallah. Barakallahu lana wa lakum bil Quran al-Azim, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد dear brothers and sisters in Islam, I will relate to you a story written by a young man explaining how he treated his mother. And he started with the following. My mother had only one eye. I hated her. She was such an embarrassment to me. I just wanted her to disappear. She cooked for students and teachers to support the family. One day, during elementary school, my mother came to the school to say hello to me. I was so embarrassed. How could she do this to me? I ignored her. I threw her a hateful look and ran out. The next day at school, one of my classmates said to me, "Oh, so your mother had one eye." I wanted to bury myself. I confronted my mother that day and said to her, "If you're only going to make me a laughing stock, why don't you just die?" My mother did not respond. I didn't even stop to think for a second what I had said, because I was full of anger. I never cared about my mother's feelings. I wanted to leave this house. I wanted out of this house and have nothing to do with her. So I studied hard to get good grades, because my intention was to leave the country, to get the opportunity to study abroad, so that I can be away from her. So I studied hard, and I got a chance to study abroad, and I left. I was successful. I got a good job. I also got married. I bought my own house, and I had kids of my own. I was happy with my life, my kids, and my comforts. Then one day, my mother came to visit me. She didn't see me for years, and she had never met her grandchildren. When she stood by the door, my children laughed at her. When I saw her, I shouted at her for coming uninvited. I screamed at her, "How dare you come to my house and scare my children? Get out of here now." And to this, my mother quietly answered, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I may have gotten the address. This is the wrong house." And she disappeared. One day, a letter regarding a school reunion came to my house. So I lied to my wife that I was going on a business trip. After the reunion, I went to the old house where I used to stay, just out of curiosity. My neighbor said to me that she died. I did not shed a tear, not a single tear. They handed me a letter that she wanted me to have. And the letter said the following: "My dearest son, I think of you all the time.